Are ghosts real? Can spirits communicate?
Whoa! Whoa! Can you say hello? Hello? Something touched me. Welcome to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington, North Carolina is a vibrant coastal city with a rich and tumultuous history. Located along the Cape Fear River, Wilmington boasts a well-preserved downtown with cobblestone streets, antebellum architecture, and the iconic Riverwalk. Established in 1739, it grew rapidly as a colonial port, exporting naval stores and agricultural products. During the American Revolution, Wilmington played a key role as a site of resistance and later saw occupation by British forces. By the mid-1800s, Wilmington had become one of the largest cities in North Carolina, playing a significant role in the state's economy, particularly through the cotton trade and its dependence on enslaved labor. During the Civil War, its fall to Union forces in 1865 marked a turning point in the war. In 1898, the city became infamous for the Wilmington Massacre, when a white supremacist group overthrew the biracial government, leading to widespread violence and the only successful coup d'etat in U.S. history. Today, the city is known for a unique mix of history, nature, and coastal living, while the legacy of its complex past continues to shape its cultural and social landscape. It is also a city filled with spirits of the past. Legends of restless spirits, including Civil War soldiers and the victims of the 1898 coup, linger in many of its oldest structures. But one of its most haunted locations is not nearly as old. Both a historical monument and a hotspot for paranormal activity. Commissioned in 1941, the USS North Carolina was the most advanced warship of its time, featuring heavy armament, advanced radar, and improved speed. Nicknamed Showboat, it served extensively in the Pacific Theater during World War II, providing crucial firepower in key battles like Guadalcanal, the Philippines, and Okinawa. On September 15, 1942, tragedy struck the ship unexpectedly when German subs ambushed the USS Hornet, firing several torpedoes. While several hit the Hornet and the ship's escorts, two missed their targets entirely. Unbelievably, one of those missed torpedoes managed to hit the USS North Carolina miles away from the conflict. 5 crewmen were killed and 23 were wounded. It was decommissioned in 1947 and moved to Wilmington, North Carolina in 1961 and is now a historic site and memorial. The ship has endless reports of shadowy figures, disembodied voices, and signs of intelligent hauntings within its dark, labyrinthian corridors. And we are here to collect evidence and find out if the ship is in fact haunted. When investigating any site, we typically seek out people who can give us some additional background. And in this case, we ran into Jessica Riemann from Jacksonville, North Carolina, who is also a paranormal investigator and who, incidentally, has investigated the North Carolina in excess of a dozen times. She was willing to help us narrow down the target areas for tonight's investigation.
My name is Jessica Riemann, and I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Number one, it's a memorial. First and foremost, it's a place where you come to, pay your respects and so on, and everything. However, I feel like the ship is extremely special because of the spirits that are on board. They're not your negative type spirits, the spirits that you're going to find in a prison or, this is a positive place. And I think that's why I keep coming back. So it was the very first time I ever came to investigate. and we were in the sick bay, and the group that I was with, they had the Phasma box, and I was trying to get closer to hear it, so I went to go and like pick up my backpack and walk towards there, and the moment I bent down, there was a spirit that said, "Whoa, that's impressive," and I was like, "What?" And after that, I kind of learned that his name was Richard Scott. We asked, do you have a name? And it said Richard. And then a few seconds later, it said Scott. And so I was like, okay, so it's either Richard or it's Scott. I'm not really sure. Um, and at the time, there was a volunteer for the ship whose name was Richard. And so I assumed, okay, maybe he's talking about Richard because he sees him all the time. And so after the investigation, we went home and I laid in bed and I thought about it and I thought about it and I was like, Richard Scott, like that's all I could think about. So the next day I went on to the ship roster. They have it online. I went on the ship roster and sure enough, there was a Richard E. Scott. So the following time that they came back about a month later, I called for Richard Scott and, he came in and he basically said that he preferred to be called Silver Dick because he liked to change. So now I bring change on my investigations. That's why I leave change. So the galley is a place where all the sailors and Marines came to have a good time. They played games there. They spent their Thanksgiving Day dinner or their Thanksgiving evening dinners there. It was just a positive place. And so I feel like the galley is alive in more ways than one. And I think that it was just, like I said, a really positive place for them to be. And I think that's why it makes it so special.
Again, you feel that's visual energy or intelligent energy?
I think it's a little bit of both. There, especially in the torpedo room, for an example, there is a lot of residual stuff happening. However, I do think that there are intelligent as well, for sure. They're willing to answer our questions and whatnot.
Needless to say, after hearing Jess's descriptions of her experiences, her love of the ship, and her infectious personality, we did something we rarely do. We asked her to come and investigate with us. And thankfully, she agreed. So let's get started.
Here we are at the USS North Carolina Battleship Memorial in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we are ready to go in for our overnight investigation. Any last words?
Wish us luck, guys.
Somebody check on us in the morning, make sure we're okay. Other than that, all aboard.
Well, we're going to hit the seas.
As we make our way to the ship, you can feel the emotion rising, and you know that you are entering a hallowed place. It is important to note that while we are investigating overnight, there is always at least one person on board at all times to ensure the protection of this great ship. While some may see this as an issue, we see it as an opportunity to gain more insight into the experiences of the people closest to the USS North Carolina. We were able to talk to Dennis LeMay for a few minutes to ask about his experiences on the ship.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dennis LeMay. I'm in charge of the night security team here on Battleship North Carolina. When I first started here, which was 13 years ago, I was a skeptic. And as a Christian, I was a skeptic. But after sleeping here for 13 years, and with everything that's been happening, I sleep on the ship 3 nights a week. I could sleep every week, all week if I wanted to, but I chose to sleep 3 nights. And our job is basically to secure the ship, set an alarm system, and the rest of the night is pretty much on. One of my, I think, most interesting experience is that most people realize that these spirits or ghosts are people that were on event at one day on this ship, served on the ship. And they come back because they love this ship. And so do we. So we talk. Sometimes they like to play with you a little bit. For instance, after we secure the ship, we set an alarm system. And one night, I set the alarm system. Just keep this in mind. When the alarm goes off, it lets Capitol Police know and send them the signal. And they call me right away and want to know if I want to dispatch the ship. Also, keep in mind, when you set the alarm, you have a monitor, and it lets you know whether or not all the doors are secured. If they're not, they'll ask you to bypass it, so we have to check. But one night, I set the alarm, looked on the monitor, All doors are secure. So the rest of night is mine. We have a widescreen TV. I'll sit down and I'll watch TV. An hour later, the alarm goes off. Capitol Police never called, and they called immediately. So I checked the monitor, and the monitor told me that the doors, exit doors on the building were unlocked. Well, that was an hour ago that I locked them. Why didn't it go off? Why didn't Capitol Police call me? Okay, so I shrugged it off, turned the alarm off, had to go all the way down to the building, check those doors, and by golly, they were unlocked. So I locked them, thought nothing of it. Came back up, set the alarm again, looked on the monitor. All doors are secure. Okay, good. So I sat down, did my thing. An hour later, it goes off again. Waited, Capitol Police never called. Well, this is very strange. So I looked on the monitor, and the monitor told me that the doors at the ramp from the canteen are unlocked. Well, by golly, now I'm getting kind of perturbed. Why didn't it let me know ahead of time? So I went back up. I turned the alarm system off, ran down the ramp, checked those doors, and sure enough, they were unlocked. Well, that kind of blew my mind a little bit. So I went back up, locked them, went back up. I stood in front of that monitor. And I'm not going to use a four-letter word here, but I did when I looked at it. I said, okay, you guys want to play around? I'm not setting the alarm tonight, and I'm going to bed. And I did. By golly, I slept like a baby all night long. The thing is, it didn't just happen to me. It happened to one of my other guys, and they were a different door. We can't prove that. We can't explain how it happens, but it did. You'll just have to take my word for it.
Hey guys, it's Greg from Chris and Greg's Haunted Road Trip. Just wanted to pop in and remind you to not miss a minute of the thrills and adventure that we're on. And you need to subscribe to our channel. You can do it by easily going to youtube.com/@Arise Entertainment and then hit subscribe. And as you can see, I'm gearing up for the second part of this investigation on the USS North Carolina battleship. I've already surrounded myself with spirits. Cheers. Let's get back to the show.
With Jess joining our investigation, she brings some additional tools with her, which we hope will provide a wide net to catch activity. While Greg starts his investigation in another part of the ship, Jess sets up the light balls and REM pod, both of which are touch activated, and a music box, which is motion activated, while I set up the main cam and ready the thermal cam and laser array.
Is there anybody in here? I have a couple of tap balls set up. I have a REM pod in the hallway. You're welcome to touch any of the things. Just to let us know you're here. There's a spirit spoke to you one time named George. George, are you in here? Silver Dick, are you in here? I brought some new friends tonight. Can you touch your cat paw? Let them know you said hello.
While activity is kicking up in sickbay, Greg is starting his investigation further into the ship.
This looks like an interesting place. I bet a lot of activity happening here. Hello? I hear something. I'm going to set up my little laser grid here so I can see. We just want to talk to everybody. I'm also going to set up a little toy over here that if you touch it, it'll light up.
Not there, is it?
Oh, is that footsteps?
Oh, I heard footsteps up there, but I heard like some of the springs, like something touching, someone touching something, and just a couple pops.
I'm not getting anything. I'm thermal.
Can you make a noise for us, please?
You can see one of the light bulbs flashing in the corner of sickbay, and then right after you see the reflection of the REM pod we placed in the hallway leading out of sickbay. In the meantime, Greg continues his investigation in another part of the ship, where he's about to catch something very interesting.
In my hand is a digital recorder. I'm going to lay it on the table. If you talk, I can pick your voice up. Is there anyone here with me? I'm all by myself. Heard there was a lot of activity on this ship. Why don't you touch that little ball over there and let me know you're here? Can you make a noise? Can you finish this knock? I hear somebody over there. You won't come out and talk to me? And stop.
During Greg's EVP session, we capture what appears to be a light anomaly. It is right before he calls out that he can hear something in the room. Watching the footage, there is no appearance of dust nor insects, and it appears as a somewhat rectangular shape. Having reviewed this several times, we simply cannot explain this. It seems activity all over the ship is starting to ramp up. The hallway just outside of sickbay is getting active, so I swing the main cam for a better view, and we focus our efforts on the spirit that was triggering the light ball and REM pods just a few moments ago. Greg has also rejoined our investigation, so we try different tools to make contact.
Wonder if I put a cat ball down next to it.
Let's try it and see.
I want to do an EVP session. We have an activity here.
Okay. There's a laser grid if you want to do that real quick too. Want me to do an EVP session?
I was thinking we might want to.
Okay.
If there's anybody down in the hallway, can you touch those lights that are on the floor? Please? That was you. Can you tap on something again?
You heard that too, right? Okay. If there's anybody in the hall, please touch the light. Whoever was here earlier, can you touch that light? Please? We just want to be able to communicate with you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We come with all of the respect. We thank you for your service.
Is that Richard? If it's Richard, would you touch that again? Or Silver Dick? Okay, so it's not Richard. Were you stationed on the ship? If so, please touch it. Are you still here? We want to thank you for your service. Did you die on the ship?
Did you know that you passed away? Have we met before? If you'd like to talk to us, can you please touch that REM pod one more time? Touch that red light. We would love to talk to you. Just get to know your story a little bit.
Not yet ready to close out our session in sickbay, we also align the laser grid to reflect into the hallway.
Is there anyone here with us? There's a little device with a red light on top of it. If you get near it, it'll light up and we'll know you're here.
Is that the music box?
What is your name? This is an absolutely beautiful ship. How long have you been here? Really want to thank you for all of your sacrifice. All right, I'm divination, so I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. It's doing that.
Are you playing with the music box?
Is that you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Can we ask you some questions by using that music box? You can light it up for yes. And leave it off for no.
Although the activity in sickbay has not stopped completely, there is about 10 acres of ship to cover and several hotspots we want to hit. So we pack up and move on so we can cover it all. We decide to split up to cover more ground. Jess and I will make our way to the ship's galley, while Greg will venture alone to investigate other parts of the ship.
Guess we're going this way. There's a lot of levels to this ship. Well, that's it. Up home. I've never been one to listen to instructions before. Move it down. Oh, this looks like a thermometer sheet. Okay. I am getting pretty lost. Oh, it goes down further. Oh, super duper. Okay. Because it's hot in here. Laundry. I guess I could do an EVP session in here. Hello, is there anybody here with me? I'm down in the laundry area of the USS Battleship, North Carolina. What is your name? My name is Greg.
of the USS Battleship in North Carolina. What is your name? My name is Greg.
While Greg is wrapping up his investigation in other parts of the ship, Jess and I set up in the ship's galley. She scatters the light balls, and I perform a thermal sweep.
Do me a favor. When you get that one set, come back over here. Walk back to where you left that. Okay, never mind. Thank you. I saw the heat reflection as you walked away, and it just kind of went down, and I was like, did I just see something move? Okay. Yeah. That's the one thing I have to get used to. Every time I turn around, there's a reflective surface, and I see myself.
And like I said, the galley's a place where they have a little fun. You know, they kind of like the world's not play. There's a cool spot on these things.
As Jess senses a cold spot on the seat of the table, our audio mysteriously goes haywire. It is the first and only time this occurs in any investigation in this series. By the time Jess and I are ready to start our investigation, Greg rejoins the group and we decide to kick off a Phasma Box session. The Phasma Box is next generation ITC software developed by Extreme Senses. Unlike the Spirit Box, it uses sound banks and doesn't sound as harsh to the ears. Here's a sample of what Greg will hear during the session.
All right, let me see if I can hear it. All right, I'm going in.
One of the balls is going off.
All right, Jay.
Bishop. Who's that?
Is Bishop your name?
More than one. What's that light thing?
It's called a cat.
What did she say?
It's color.
Something about I heard cat ball. It's good. Disgusting. I couldn't make that out. Are you ready? We're ready. They're ready too. Enjoy. Oh, it sounded like somebody threw a tray on the floor. Hold on. Stop for a second. I don't know if this is correlated with anything y'all are asking, but I feel like there's a conversation going on in here during mealtime. That's what I'm getting. It sounds like somebody was saying, I want more. It sounded like somebody was saying it was disgusting. Somebody else said, no, it's good. And I heard like a tray hit the floor. And then some of it was, I felt like, related to that ball over there because I heard cat ball. Were both of you asking questions?
No, just her.
Chris, you want to ask this time? Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going in.
Can you tell me your name?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you. My name's Chris.
No, I said yes.
Good. What's yours? I'm Chris. I just want to know who I'm talking to.
Doing it again.
Yes, I see you doing it again.
Both of us.
Oh, there's two. Okay, awesome. And thank you for what you did for our country. We really do appreciate you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
As we continue with our Phasma box section, it now seems as though the residual energy has dissipated and the intelligent energy has come forward. This is clearly demonstrated by the back and forth teasing this spirit gives me during our session.
Chris,
Yes. Thank you.
bite your tongue.
What do you...
Yes. No, Chris.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you're right. It's Chris. Thank you.
Hi.
Did he say bye? Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name? Don't be shy.
Aaron.
Aaron? Well, it's good to meet you, Aaron. Do you have a last name?
Oh, too many people talking at once. I do, but I couldn't hear what else was said.
Aaron, can you tell me your last name? Do you like staying here?
Can't make it out.
We were doing a Phasma box session. You were under. I was asking questions, I think, at the time. And several things occurred simultaneously. First of all, the pods, the light bulbs went off. There was one behind me off camera and one to the left off camera right by the door. And that started going off, and then you came up and you were like, ooh, bully.
Ooh, a bully.
Who's bully? Oh, we've got, now this one's gone off. Thank you.
I feel like somebody just entered the room. Yes, that's what I did.
You felt like somebody walked in the room.
I did.
That wasn't something you heard.
No, I felt that.
Okay.
I felt something like dominant into the room. You can just feel it.
Right after that, I noted that there was something that came into the room. I could feel the presence as well.
Heavy.
And it did feel heavy.
Oh, you did that. Was that Aaron or somebody else? Ooh, I just got chills. Somebody's here. Yeah, somebody's here. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's staring at me.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to sort of witness what was going on and then to have it sort of validated, not by just one tool, but by Greg and myself, that yes, this was occurring.
I've been. Or I'm Ben. I'm Ben.
Oh, you're Ben. Hi, Ben.
That's right.
Okay, if I talk to you too?
Now she's talking.
Yes, she is.
Is that okay I talk to you too?
I want to get drunk.
Who's got the liquor?
Anytime I go under, when I say I go under with the headset, I feel things. I can feel the emotion. Wind energy is coming through, or wind voices are coming through, and it always breaks me out in a severe sweat. So a lot of times you'll see me doing this, and I can't explain it. It's gone quiet.
After a very lively Phasma box session in the ship's galley, it seems the energy is tapering off. So we quickly debrief and then pack up to move on to the next and possibly the most exciting part of our investigation on the USS North Carolina. Check out the second half of our investigation on the USS North Carolina here on the Arise Entertainment channel, only on YouTube.